This rather normal looking apartment building was until recently the home for a couple of decades of a person you've heard of. It's Senator Mitch McConnell, the man who devoted his primary energy since 2008 to seeing that the power to appoint to the U.S. Supreme Court did not go to the president, who was a Harvard educated lawyer and devoted family man, but instead to one who turned out to have committed 34 felonies. So, does the neighborhood McConnell has lived in most of his adult life applaud his obstruction of President Obama? Is the place Mitch is from full of MAGA hats and pro gun bumper stickers, classic of the deep red state that elected Mitch to the Senate 7 times? Well, let's drop into Louisville to take a close up look at Mr. McConnell's neighborhood. McConnell is from a section of Louisville called the Highlands, built on a bluff in the mid 1800s through the early 1900s. So, what is it like? Less than 1 block from Mitch's apartment is a little library and a cat cafe, one of multiple ones in this section of Louisville's Highlands. People in the neighborhood love animals. Animal welfare and animal rights are big there, as is an emphasis on healthy and locally made food. Human rights are big in the Highlands too. Protests are always happening, and not because it's Mitch's neighborhood. The Highlands has always been the place of outspoken people. These Iranian Americans are protesting in the Highlands for women's equality in Iran. These protesters are opposing the Trump administration's caging of migrant children. The 2020 killings of Breonna Taylor and David McAtee by authorities brought people to the streets in many parts of Louisville, including the Highlands. Whereas the neighborhood is a financial benefactor of the mid 20th century policy of redlining to deprive black communities of their wealth, the passions by progressive whites against racism are strong in the Highlands. And there are people in the neighborhood who are suffering from inequity as well. Addictions and homelessness have become worse there in the last dozen years. This picture was taken just a few blocks from McConnell's apartment. The creative arts in the Highlands are often tied to altruism. Inside this coffee house, some of the art for sale has been by autistic spectrum creators and sold to benefit them. As a person who was diagnosed 5 years ago as being high-functioning autistic, I appreciate the Highlands' prevailing attitude toward the neurodivergent. The churches in the Highlands are also altruistic and in favor of social justice. Highland Baptist Church is the only Southern Baptist church in the nation to have ordained an openly gay man as a minister. Food and music in the Highlands are abundant and diverse, inside and outside of restaurants and performing spots. Day and night. Musicians and artists live in large numbers in Mitch McConnell's section of town. One of them, musician Joey Conroy, became an international meme in 2014 for not only voting against McConnell, but signaling to the world his feelings toward the senator, which he said was an unplanned and non-staged gesture. Highlands residents tend to like their cerebral games while out at coffee houses, where the staff wants their pronouns, but also their just wages and benefits. The Highlands and other Louisville neighborhoods have made the city a national leader in efforts to unionize baristas. A core Highlands trait of quirkiness was illustrated over Easter a few years ago when someone used green tape to alter a sign for Bonnycastle Avenue to reflect the spirit of the season. Everyone got a chuckle out of it, and the sign still bears the double name. That's classic of an audacious creativity that colors the Highlands. Music shops, bookstores, small clothing, and specialty shops value being original and eye-catching. A countercultural feel is sprinkled throughout Mitch McConnell's neighborhood. So, why would a place full of happy cat ladies, outspoken protesters, and a rising workers' movement be where Mitch McConnell would choose to be, when he could live anywhere amid the hunting, fishing, and pickup truck driving folks in the deep red state of Kentucky? Well, I believe Mitch likes the cultural liberality of Louisville's Highlands, and for more reasons than just his having an interracial marriage to former Labor Secretary Elaine Chao. While McConnell held his first elected office, serving in 1977 to 1984 as county executive for Jefferson County, heading the government, which includes the city of Louisville, he governed as a moderate, supporting federal anti poverty programs, architectural preservation, and aggressive anti pollution efforts, all while cooperating with Democrats. Yes, you heard right. In his 1977 race, McConnell received the support of the county's Central Labor Council and of some civil rights leaders. As far as having grand designs on the Supreme Court, just like he did in this 1977 picture, he seemed to just blend into the background. 40 years later, as Senate Majority Leader, McConnell's party and its President Donald Trump set out to abolish the Environmental Protection Agency. I was one of thousands of Louisville area voters who wrote McConnell, reminding him of his close work with the EPA to greatly reduce our city's severe 1970s smog, which had been rated in one study among the three worst of any U.S. city. His return letter pledged support for anti-pollution efforts and never mentioned Trump's proposal to end the EPA, but he did soon drop support for that proposal. It seems that no matter how beholden one is to Koch brothers' dark money, there is still the countervailing power of reminding them where they are from.